what's up? In this video I'm going to walk y'all through my soft bead collection. Soft beads are kind of a you know, relatively new thing in the fishing world. And it's kind of taken it by storm. And I'm just going to show you my collection. I love using soft beads. It's a fun way to mix it up, you know, without using bait, without getting you know, all mucked up from your salmon roe, your cure. And you know, it's a fun thing to collect the different beads and the different sizes and colors, and try to hone in on, you know, what it is the fish are wanting that day. So hang around and we'll go into this collection here, and I'll walk you step by step through the different options that I have. Alright, here we are with my collection of soft beads. Now most of these are from B&R Tackle, a really good company that, you know, has a huge selection of these different beads in different colors, sizes, and styles. I've recently gotten into bead fishing. It's a nice alternative to using salmon eggs, because, you know, if you run out of eggs, or if you're not allowed to use eggs in your river, some rivers up in Washington don't allow it for parts of the season. It's just a nice alternative. And another thing is, you know, fishing is, especially gear fishing, I think it really comes down to having a big box of toys, really. You know, that's kind of what it comes down to, at least partially. You know, I think that's one of the appeals for a lot of people. It's part of the appeal for me is, you know, having a collection of lures, having a collection of beads, whatever it is, line, rods, reels, having this cool toolbox that you can, you know, put together in different combinations and try to catch these fish. So in this video, we're just going to go over the different beads I have and when you might use them, and, you know, why I have all these different beads. So in this first row up here, let's see if I can get a better angle for you guys here. In this first row, we have some of our smaller beads. We have, I think these are 14, maybe a combination of 14 and 16 millimeter beads. In these first 5 boxes, we have different, what you call mottled styles, or we have these 5 boxes contain beads with mottled style. That means that these beads here are kind of imitating rotten or rotting salmon eggs. So in general, these eggs are meant, or these beads are meant to mimic what salmon eggs look like in the water. Now salmon, for whatever reason, you know, they know that they want to attack things that look like salmon eggs. So the different styles that we have here are meant to just kind of provide more variance in how we can approach the holes that we're targeting. So we have some orange mottled in this kind of standard 16 millimeter, 14 millimeter size. It's on the smaller size, but it's pretty standard. So we have orange, we have a little cerise model, we have red. This is a particularly nice one that I like. And then we have some lighter variants here. Next on after that, we have our first not mottled clear bead. So this is a clear cerise, and pretty much a go-to for a lot of bead fishermen. And we'll get into why you would want bigger beads versus smaller beads in a bit. Next we have a slightly bigger set of beads to follow here. So we have a mottled, some of the modeling on this has kind of worn off. Here you can see it a little bit better. So these are cerise again, slightly bigger. This one's quite a bit bigger, in that nice cerise color. I think that's a really nice color, really sticks out, very vibrant in the water. Next we have an even bigger set of cerise mottled beads. I think this is around 20 mil. Next we have, I forget what company makes this, but I had to get it when I saw it in the tackle shop. Really nice kind of cluster imitation here. So, you know, if your B&Rs aren't working, it's kind of nice to have a totally different alternative to throw on the hook and on the rig to see if changing it up might lead to success. Next, we have our smallest, let's see if I can grab one, our smallest bead yet. I'm not sure how big this is, maybe 8 mil, really small. And now's kind of a good time to get into why you would want a smaller bead versus a bigger bead. All right, so here we have a good comparison of the smallest bead in my box versus the biggest bead. So I think this is 8 mil, I want to say, maybe a little bit smaller, maybe 6. I kind of forget. And then here we have the biggest bead that B&R makes, 32 mil. You know, these are in different styles. One of these has a little glitter in it, a little clown effect. And then in this one we have just this mottled effect, which is really nice. Painted model too. It's got some yellow in the modeling, which is nice. And why would we want to have these different sizes, these drastically different sizes? Well, in general, you want bigger. You want as big as you can feel comfortable with. That's because the fish is more likely to see a bigger egg or a bigger bead. If you feel like you can get away with a really big bead, then you should put it on. In most cases, in my opinion. Now, what do I mean get away with? Well, if you're fishing a really, you know, pressured area, pressured hole with lots of anglers every year coming and just hammering the fish, then a big bead like this, they might be wise to it and they might be a little bit scared or unwilling to strike it. So in which case, a smaller bead might be your better option. And along with that, a bead color and style that they're not likely to see from other anglers in the area. So you kind of want to stand out as much as you can. And that's why having this big bead selection, this is, you know, it's not too big, but I like to have my options. That's why having this big selection can be useful. So let's keep moving on. So in addition to these ones right here, these small ones and these really big ones, we have some in-betweeners here, some bigger, I think this style is called like a clown, you know, just glittered style, which is nice. Some more modeling. Here we have, pretty sure these are going to be really nice steelhead hitters right here. Some blue sparkles, some blue sprinkles in there. On top of that beautiful bubblegum pink medium-sized bead. It's kind of a perfect bead in my opinion right there. And then this is my personal favorite bead. This bright red, iridescent red. It almost glows pink a little bit on the edges. So I think that's just beautiful right there. And then we kind of have a bigger version of that right here. So next we have these bead stops. I'll come out with another video to show you how to rig that up, but these are really straightforward. Different sizes for different beads. You thread your leader line through these little hooks, pull, and then you have just this bead stopper on the edge, on the end of your leader, you know, a couple inches above your hook, that you can just slide. You can just slide these pre-made holes straight into your leader and onto the bead stop so that they're not moving around on the line. So hopefully that was a pretty useful, oh, my cat's talking. Hopefully that was a pretty useful little intro to beads and my setup and my approach to bead fishing. I'm not the best bead fisherman out there by far. I'm probably one of the worst, but it's a fun little toolbox to have in your arsenal that you can go to kind of mix it up and just try something new. So I'll hopefully come out with some more videos on how to, rig up a bead setup and how best to actually fish it down the line, especially heading into winter steelhead season. So hopefully I can catch a steely with the one on camera for y'all. So hopefully that was helpful, and I hope you all have a good rest of your day. Thanks.